If there is any time the youth are interested in politics, I would say the evidence is now and clear, given what even the political class are saying, especially when Okujeto called for a new presidential jet to be purchased. And people are saying that, look, in opposition, thanks to you, we knew what Akufo-Addo wanted to do to us, bath in the sky on us. And now you are in power, you are calling for a new presidential jet to be bought. They say, no, this is some level of hypocrisy they have not seen before. Do you agree with that assertion?
But have you seen this level of hypocrisy before?
So you see, I had a few number of factors I had to consider before even pronouncing anything.
Sergio Ramos.
So we would go into that. You just
I thought you were going to start. But you see, this is serious hypocrisy. And karma, they say, is a B. And I thought it would take some time, but it's interesting that within 8 to 9 months, some of the things they said in opposition is coming back so hard to bite them.
Right.
And I'm here for all of that. Because tell me why, when you're in opposition, the vim with which Okujeto Ablakwa will be speaking and the aircraft is okay and that's Akufo-Addo should be using it. Charlie, it's just 8 months. So are you telling us that the thing got spoiled in just 8 months?
Okay, so even if the thing got spoiled in the other administration, couldn't they have given us the reason why the president wanted to, get a new presidential jet? Because at the time, do you know why the shower in the sky became famous? Because it was the reason they gave for wanting a new presidential jet for the president at that time. I mean, if you give a reason like this, I mean, right-thinking people would not buy such a reason. Your reason for getting a new presidential jet, not because the old one is not functioning well and is a death trap, but because you want to shower in the sky. So I think communication here didn't help the situation at the time.
I think at the time, they were communicating, but we were so emotional that we were not even listening. Who even came up with that theory of the president is bathing in the sky?
That was the reason, part of the reasons they gave for president wanting
it is similar to when
private jet.
The former vice president launched the drone thing to deliver medication. And we had Hanabisu saying that they are bringing the drone to look at naked women bathing. It is just not something we can comprehend. It was just one of the propaganda they were doing. They were communicating. They were telling us a lot of times that the presidential jet engine is not working. And you had the same Okujeto telling us that the engines of every aircraft is 3. So we can actually switch at every time. What has changed in the last 8 months? What has changed?
Well, you see, for me, it is important that whilst we are in opposition and making all the rhetorics, it must actually meet deliverables when we find ourselves in power. And why the reason why you would want to take a look at this critically is that, okay, one, the demand they are making, is it what was the word, justifiable that we should get a new presidential jet? The one we have right now, does it pose a threat to the first gentleman of the land? I mean, all of these things must be considered.
We know
but just to throw the blanket that he's a hypocrite for calling out this thing, maybe don't you think we should consider the circumstances?
Oh, give me a better word, and I'll use that. But for me, I think he's a hypocrite. And before he even addressed the press yesterday on this subject, I would have thought that he would render an apology to the Ghanaian people and say, oh, I didn't know when I was outside the field, but when I started playing on the field, I realized that no, it's not what you see. It's not what you see all the time, it's what you think happens.
Right.
Because he was the loudest when it comes to, he was quote and unquote the minority spokesperson on foreign affairs. Not even quote and unquote, he was. So he was giving us a lot of reasons why this jet can be in the air and that the president then, Nana Akufo-Addo, should be using it. And today you're telling us that if it's not fit for purpose, no, don't tell us not. You knew it wasn't fit for purpose. You knew.
There is this argument that if we take a look at some judges' claim on Galamsey about the actions Akufo-Addo can take, His Excellency Akufo-Addo can take, and also Kujeto now making the call for a presidential, there is this sense of politics of convenience. Do you also get that?
Yes, because when I keep telling you that when you're in opposition, you have all the ideas in this world. But the moment they give you the work to do, that's when you realize that, as we sit here every time to talk, I'm sure somebody is watching and he's like, these people, they're giving them camera. You see a lot of that in the comments.
Yeah.
But when you see all these lights and camera, the moment they say action, maybe your brofukra might not come out well.
I tell you.
Yes, that's what's happening to Kujeto and the Sam George. Sam George actually told former President Akufo-Addo that you can solve Galamsey within a week if you want to. And this is 8 months in government too. President Mahama is still telling us that he has a lot of tools to use before he will declare state of emergency. But that's not what your followers and your subordinates were telling us when you were in opposition.
You see, in the beginning, I told you that if there is any time that the youth is interested in governance and are louder in governance is now. And it looks like the people who are getting that revelation too is the political class. Why am I saying this? This is what Osahin, Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin is saying, the minority leader. And he says, I quote, "The way social media is operating now, if care is not taken, the youth lose trust in the two political parties. They will take over and we will find ourselves in Sawon."
Like, where's the lie? And we should be quick to add that we've said time and time again that this administration is like that last straw of our democracy test in this country. Right. Take it or leave it. We must be worried if this government is not performing.
So then we should all be interested
yes.
in the success of this government.
Yes.
But so when you get the reason that there are some section of Ghanaians whose criticism comes forth more destructive than, contributing opinions to national development, what do you say to that?
You can't tell people how they should criticize you. That is why you have advisors. That's why you have a lot of technical aids. You can filter the criticism. Nobody will criticize you and you tell me that you can't find one iota of truth in everything they've said. Some people can be destructive as you are putting it, but there should always be that, if it's a white shirt, there will always be that black stain of truth in there for you to pick and work on. So whether it's destructive, whether it's contributory, just make sure that you are doing what the people want. Because, see, the rise of, we've seen Kenya, of these Gen Zs and the youth trying to take over. We are seeing Nepal and what's happening there.
And to think that they voted through Discord and selected their prime minister is crazy.
And you see, Afenyo-Markin can say some of these things because if they even mount pressure on you to say resign and you resign, that's not it all. They are beating you. They are doing things to them that even though you want this, the people have done it for you. No, the people are not satisfied because they've bottled in a lot of pain. So I'm saying that in this administration, they should make sure that they listen widely, whether destructive, whether positive, just pick something from it and read the climate. It's just 8 months and the heat coming. You can imagine what will happen if you're in your 3rd year or your last year.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Imani actually did a 6-month assessment of this administration, and it tells you that the mass dismissal and the jet controversy actually eroded that goodwill. We were here thinking this government still has some goodwill, but according to Imani, there's no goodwill.
Goodwill is like a brand new car. The very day you spark and start using it, depreciation actually. And this one, if it's depreciation, then it means that 8 months depreciation actually brand new car.
So we
are going.
Do you ever see the youth of this country taking full control of affairs someday?
Never say never. But you see, I keep telling you that the ordinary Ghanaian can be very wicked.
Why do you say?
We smile, we bottle up things a lot. That is why in recent times, you would hear of some crimes and you're like, this is not us. But you see, years and days of bottling up a lot of things can make you react in a way that you yourself, you'll be surprised when you are done. We don't want to get there. We always say that the Ghanaian youth is very calm. We are always on social media talking about a lot of unnecessary things. But when somebody becomes very hungry and they want something done and they want to get it at all costs, you will be surprised that it's that same Ghanaian youth that you didn't book. We don't have to get there. So this discussion is I'm even uncomfortable having it. All I'm saying is that we've given Mr. President a mandate. It's a 4-year mandate. In as much as you have your plans and you want to do things on your own, just listen to the climate of the Ghanaian people, the pulse of the nation. When you say we don't like something, don't force it down our throats. We've seen some before.
And there's this one conversation that it looks like is not sitting down with a lot of, especially the youth of this country, where the president was like, we can use your IP address to track you and all of that, and some people started calling you IP man and all of that, like now you want to track us. Like they feel, and it's worrying.
That's because when he was in opposition and a lot of people were doing it in the name of supporting him and the NDC, they kept quiet. But they want to use IP address to arrest
No,
him.
but he is a man who has said that, look, you are free to speak,
Maybe then you see
no guarantees after speech, but we don't know that. We would see. Well, for me, I always say there's always that last straw that breaks the camel's back, and absolute power would always be for the people. So rather, the strength and passion should be in how to improve the lives of ordinary citizens and not in how to keep them quiet.
Ideally, if you say something in opposition and you're in power and you feel like it's not it's not what I used to think, or it's not what is on the field is what I imagine, the best thing you can do is to apologize. Sometimes honorably resign because that's not what you promised us. But no, gidigba, shameless, we move on. The Ghanaian people accept. But you see, this is a new dispensation, and we are saying that this Mahama 2 is that final lap. If it's a marathon race, we must run
in terms
it well.
of democracy. The final lap. Well, do you agree that Mahama 2 is the final lap of our democracy, or you disagree? Let us know in the comment section. And whilst you're doing this, recommend this to a brother, a friend, a sister. Until we come your way next time, make sure you're a great citizen. We are.